Hello, it's Fatzoid here, and I hope you enjoyed the matches. Now, let's talk about this new and improved deck. I really wanted to play Sword Soul Tenyi, but alas, we did not get any Soul Soul card besides Iris, which we are running 3 of, but can easily be knocked down to 2. Iris, let's talk about real quick. She is a card that gets better the higher elo you are. Why? Because more people will be playing hand traps, more people will be playing effect veilers, more people playing infinite impermanence. And the more there are on the map, the better she becomes. Now, what does she do? Let's go over it real quick. During the main phase, if a monster whose effects are negated, you can special summon this card from your hand. If your opponent special summons a monster while she's on the field, you can activate one of these effects for where it's special summoned from. So, if they summon it from hand, you can special summon one monster from your hand. From deck, you get to draw 2 cards. And from extra deck, destroy one of those monsters special summoned from the extra deck. You can only use each effect of Iris once per turn. I don't know if... So, I've played this card a few times already. And I'm telling you right now, the effect seems like it only goes off once per turn. I don't know if that's a bug. I don't know if that's intended. But the way this card reads, it says you can use each effect of Iris Soul Sword once per turn. But every time someone summons a monster from the extra deck or from the deck after I use, let's say, the hand effect, it doesn't work anymore. Like, it won't let me activate it anymore. So if someone in the comments can let me know if that's normal, I don't know. It's still a very good effect regardless. And the fact she's level 8. We'll get into that. It's a very useful, to get into some of our synchros. And she's got a big body, 2,500, a lot of damage. So, also, you can special summon her off your own imperms too, and we run 3 in the deck, so that's something to recognize. So if your opponent goes first, they play their shit, and then you imperm one of their monsters on your turn, you can special summon her from your hand. The real standout winner of this deck is Baroness. And everyone's going crazy over this card. This card's absolutely insane. And this deck can easily makes it very consistently. Turn 1, every game. It's very hard for me not to make it. So with this deck, your best board would be 1 Baron de Fleur. Right, you end off with 1 Baron de Fleur, 1 Zing negate, so you end up with 9 pillars with a Zing monster, right? And Herald of Arclight play with a Tenyi Berserker out. So 4 negates, 3 of those are Omnia negates, and then you got the 1 non-Omnia negate. The one I would watch out for the most though is the 9 pillars of Zing, because remember, this card does not destroy the effect that your opponent's using, so you want to make sure you're trying to use this on cards that are better off not in the graveyard, so because it sends it back to the deck. So just be in mind when you have all these negates out, you want to make sure this one you're using the most sparingly. So you might be saying, Fatzoid, how the hell do we end up with 4 negates? And you know what I would say? Shut up. Check this out. This hand is not even a good hand. It's like whatever. It's like a mediocre hand. Right? You activate out of here as effect. You are going to special summon this. Max C. And you go instantly into this. Christian Halifax activates effect. And for anyone asking, you can 100% play Deskbot. I do like Jet Synchron. But I was actually thinking about playing Jet Synchron and Deskbot, just in case I get one of them in my hand. It's an idea. But yeah, let's do this. So we go into this. You guys know what to do here. I mean, this is pretty basic. It's like the common fucking it's a common combo with Mecha Beast. And now we're gonna do this. And now you'd be like, you might be saying, why would you sacrifice your Link 3? There's a reason why we do it. Just shut your trap right now. We're trying to play some real Yu-Gi-Oh right now. So the first, you always want to go into Denlong. Always go into Denlong. And then you activate Denlong first, and then your Mecha Beast Lion. Because this card, doing this, like, makes it so your opponent can't Ash Blossom if they have it. Granted, they probably would have Ash Blossom the Halibrax, but just saying. Always get the trap. There's like rarely an instance you don't want to get the trap. So you're going to activate Denlong's ability. You're going to throw Ashuna in the graveyard most of the time. Sometimes you'll throw this in if you're trying to break something on their board. But you're going to do this. And you're going to be like, hey, why do we do that? Well, shut your trap and I'll tell you. Now we're going to use both of these. Now we got Baron de Fleur. Boom, that's one negate. The effect activates because it goes to the graveyard. We are going to be summoning this. Now we are going to be activating Jet Synchron, his ability. We're going to be discarding Ash Blossom because we have 2 crossout designators, so might as well just keep it. I actually probably should have done one of the designators. Then you're going to be activating Ashuna. Boom. We do Ashuna before we do Jet Synchron. I mean, after we do Jet Synchron. Because if you do Ashuna first, you're not going to be able to special summon Jet Synchron from the graveyard. So please, like, make sure you're doing the things correctly. Because if you don't, you're screwed. And the reason why we do this, the way we do it, if you couldn't go into Monk of the Tenyi turn 1, like, easily, you're going to need a card that is neutral, that is a non-effect monster. Because otherwise you cannot activate these Tenyi Spirit effects. So that's the reason we sacrificed the way we did. Even if we're not even using that. Like, doesn't matter. So, as you've seen, my hand was not the best hand I possibly could have, but I still ended on 3 negates. So, we have Baron de Fleur negate, we have 9 Pillar negate, and we have Monster negate with Berserker. And this is very easy to do. Like, this does not take much brain power. It's not like a 40-minute combo. This shit literally takes like 30 seconds to do if you're quick with it. Like, I've been doing this for a while, so like I'm pretty fast with it. And then at the end of the turn, honestly, you could just use this effect to set up your next turn. So if for some reason they're able to board break, they have multiple kaijus or something like that, you can get Ashuna into your hand for next turn. Because you can pop off with pretty much just 2 monsters you can pop off with it. Okay, we're here. This is a really good hand. So I wanted to show you what the difference between a really good hand and just an average hand. So this hand, we can Foolish Burial. We throw this card in the graveyard. Activate Tenyi Spirit Vashuda. This card's insane. Vessel of the Dragon. I'm going to show you why. So you looked at me using Foolish Burial, and it kind of lets you set up what you want to be doing. Right? Lets you set some cards up. Now look at this shit. This card is a Foolish Burial. When you have a non-effect monster out, this card becomes a Foolish Burial. And it becomes a tutor. So you're able to get one of your cards that you need out of your deck. It's so crazy. And then you can activate this. So as long as you have no effect monsters, you can special summon these ones at least once per turn per Tenyi Spirit. Alright, we're going to Halibrax. And remember what I said, if you want to play Despot, you 100% play Despot, just as good. Sometimes it's better in some situations, so... I was actually thinking, like, I go down one line to play a Despot, as I said before. Alright, you're going to... So you might be asking, hey, Fabian. You might be asking, hey, Fatzoid. What's the difference between doing what you're doing now and what you're doing before? Well, you're gonna see. It's gonna end a little bit different. So we sack these two like we normally do. Play lion. Play this guy, a weird looking thing. Looks pretty cool. I like the Zing cards because they have like they look very Chinese. I don't even know if this shit is Chinese, but it looks cool. Alright, we activate this. We're gonna be throwing in one of these in the graveyard. Come to 7. Go into Baron de Fleur. Because the card's insane. This card is so crazy. Activate Denglong. And we're going to special summon this bad boy. Activate this effect. And then we are going into... Oh, by the way, like, make sure when you're using Denglong's ability to send something to the graveyard, you're not sending your last copy of Fashuda to the graveyard, because then you can't special summon it with Fashuda. So just make sure you're not making that mistake. Okay, so this is 4 negates. So, how I'm going to explain it, let's see. I'll see if my opponent can actually do anything. Oh, no, we don't want to activate that. Damn it, they didn't activate anything. Alright, fine. Okay, perfect. They used something. Alright, so I'm going to be... Use the 9 pillars. You negate their cards, send it back to the deck. You destroy Jiaotu, right? And then you can activate this first. This second. So this card, when it's in the graveyard, like Chiwen, you're able to special summon it to the field. And then you get to special summon this level 3 from the deck. And this the Beyond has the effect right here. It can go into Herald. You see? Now you have 4 negates. 4!